So today we will discuss about the historical survey of Jain Yoga and meditation. So we'll see how long or what is the historical background of Jain meditation. So from which time it has started, what is the origin, and what was the time. So today we are starting our discussion on historical survey of Jain Yoga and meditation. Jainism emphasizes on liberation, and that is the final liberation from the karmic bondage, from the cycle of birth and death, and from all kinds of sufferings. And for that, it emphasizes on self-discipline, deep meditation, and yoga. So yoga in Jainism is not merely physical, but deeply soteriological, focused on liberation, final liberation, or emancipation. Meditation is central to overcoming karmic dust and attaining perfect knowledge, that is omniscience. So that's why we would see then that all the Tirthankars who are the propounder of Jain religion, they mostly mainly practice meditation. They go into deep meditation till they attain omniscience. And after they start preaching religion to other people. So prehistorically, the roots of Jain yoga and meditation we find in the practices of Lord Rishabh, who was the first Tirthankar of Jain religion. His time is historically very remote, and it is very difficult to get the exact date and year of his time. But according to some historians, he was at least from 14,000 years before he was in that remote time. Historically, the roots of Jain yoga and meditation is found in Shraman traditions, which have been developed in 6th century BCE, and that was the time of Lord Mahavir, was the last Tirthankar of Jain religion, and he meditated at least for 12 and a half years till he got attained what we say omniscience or perfect knowledge. So we can see that his life was completely engrossed in meditation, and we have all details about his practices. Early practices linked to Indus Valley civilization and pre-Vedic ascetic movements. So, in pre-Vedic ascetic movements, it is said that it was the Jain religion or Jain thinkers who were actually practicing this meditation. So, we can say that the Indus Valley civilization, which is the time of which is to 1700 BCE, so that is the time. But before the meditation was in practice, and it is because of the Jain thinkers who were existing before the Indus Valley civilization. Jain Yoga developed alongside Buddhist and Hindu traditions, but retained unique doctrines of karma and non-violence. So, in Jain Yoga meditation, you will see that the Jain yogis and sages and seers, they were very much strict in their karmic, in their doctrine of karmas, and also in their practice of non-violence. They did not, they have not said anything which causes any kind of violence. So that's why we would see that in Jain yoga practices, we are avoiding some of the practices which are going on in some other traditions. But yes, we are trying to adopt something which is good, but that should also have the non-violence in its practice. So in this way, Jain meditation and yoga is more emphatic on the doctrine of karma and also on practice of non-violence. The ancient texts, which are the historical texts, and say about meditational practices of Jain tradition. So the first text, which is most ancient text, is Acharang Sutra. It has been spoken in 6th century BCE by Lord Mahavir, and we could see or the practices of Mahavir in this particular scripture, that what kind of meditation he used to do. So it is the most ancient text and earliest Jain scripture describing meditation and ascetic discipline for that. Sthanang Sutra is another scripture which has also been spoken by Lord Mahavir in 6th century BCE, and it refers to 4 types of meditation which are especially take place or happen in the life of all different people, and especially the Dharma Dhyan and Shukla Dhyan, these 2 meditation, they are main meditation in true sense for which we are focusing in this particular course. Artha and Rudra Dhyan, we would understand how they are avoidable. They are not meditation which one should practice. Sutrakritang is another text which is also spoken in the 6th century BC by Lord Mahavir, and it outlines the ethical conduct and yogic practices. So we can see some of the references of meditation in yoga and ethical yogic ethics in this particular text. So the focus of all these ancient texts behind the practice of yoga and meditation is self-restraint, mindfulness, to develop mindfulness and detachment from the body and the external world. Apart from the to achieve the final liberation. And there are certain medieval texts which are mainly focused on meditational practices, and we find among them the main text of Haribhadra. He was a Jain Acharya, or you can say religious leader of 8th century, and he wrote so many texts on meditation, Jain yoga and meditation. So Yoga Drishti Samuccaya is very famous text to understand the practices of Jain yoga and meditation of his time, which he has developed especially. And this Yoga Drishti Samuccaya text is compared Jain yoga with Hindu and Buddhist systems. We find there are certain paramitas which have been discussed in Buddhist meditation, and there is Sampragyat and Asampragyat Samadhi in Hindu tradition. So similar to those things and those meditational practices, we find some other different meditations in this Yoga Drishti Samuccaya, which can go parallel or hand in hand to these Hindu and Buddhist meditation systems. Hemachandra, he was also the religious leader of 12th century of Jain religion, and he wrote one text which is known as Yoga Shastra. And this text especially systematized Jain yoga practices, and it is very emphatic that Jain yogis and meditators should first of all follow the 5 rules and ethical rules, which is non-violence, truthfulness, non-stealing, celibacy, and non-possession. So this text is very strict to these ethical rules and principles for even meditator and any yogis. Emphasis on progressive stages of meditation and integration of philosophy with practices. So you can see in that there is such emphasis on in this particular Yoga Shastra, that how we can go, we can develop progressively in the different stages of meditation. And also we will see that how integration philosophy and ethical living have been integrated with meditational practices in this particular text. core principles of Jain Yoga is that though we can go into deeper meditation, but non-violence should always be intact. A non-possessive tendency should develop with deeper meditation, and self-restraint should also develop. So meditation is also accepted as the path to liberation, or it is main path to liberation. But apart from meditation, we should also be very ethically strong when we want to go into deep meditation for our own liberation. So here we can see what kind of meditations have been discussed in these ancient scriptures, especially by Lord Mahavir. So we can see that there are 4 types of meditation which have been practiced. The last two are avoidable, but the first 2 are acceptable, and one should practice these 2 meditations. So the first, and we can say the highest, deepest meditation is Shukla meditation. It is called, it is a pure meditation leading to liberation. So the main purpose of practicing this kind of meditation is to attain liberation, final, what we say, salvation. And dharma dhyan, so it is a meditation which is especially focuses on reflection on the teachings of Tirthankars or the realities of the world. So it is mainly focusing on reflection, deep reflection on those realities to understand the truth and to also achieve liberation, to be prepared for liberation. Artha and Rudra Dhyan, these are the negative meditations, and they are completely avoidable. Nobody should practice this kind of meditation, but they happens they happen in the case of those people who are attached to the external world or any family members. So because of that, they automatically get into this kind of meditation, but they are not right meditation, good meditation. They are harmful, and one should avoid these kind of meditations. So the goal of Jain Yoga and meditation is transition from lower forms to Shukla Dhyana. So yes, we want to achieve the deepest and highest level of meditation, which is called a Shukla Dhyana, pure meditation, in which we focus on our own inner pure self. So what is Dharma Dhyana? So it is also known as contemplative meditation, you can see. And so definition is Dharma Dhyana is pious reflection on truth, scriptures, and spiritual practice principles. It is considered auspicious meditation in Jainism, and it is always, most of the times we are practicing meditations which come under this particular meditation, which is called Dharma Dhyana. So whatever we have discussed under Praksha meditation, they most of them, they come in this particular meditation, and especially the contemplative meditation that comes under the Dharma Dhyana. And purpose is to help purify the mind, reduce karmic packages, and cultivate right knowledge and conduct. So this is what Dharma Dhyan. So there are several types of Dharma Dhyan. One can focus on the teachings of the thinkers. So it is known as Agya Vijay. The second type is Apay Vijay, in which we contemplate on the consequences of sinful actions. Whatever we are doing something wrong, we should think about the results of those wrong actions. So that is called Apay Vijay. Sinful actions, especially, we have to reflect on those actions. So that come under this Apay Vijay. Vipak Vijay, reflection on karmic results and their fusions. So in this particular meditation, we reflect on the results of our wrong actions. If we are doing something right, then we can focus on that also. Sansthan Vijay, so it is a meditation on the structure of the universe and the soul's place in it. So Sansthan Vichay is recognized especially for focusing on the structure of the universe, and also where we are in this locating in this vast universe. So for that we can meditate and can come to know that in which part of the universe we are, and from where we are coming in this particular present life. Shukla Dhyan, as I have said, that it is a pure meditation. Pure means we are not focusing any other objects than our own pure inner self in this particular meditation. And the purpose is the final liberation, to attain final liberation. So Shukla Dhyan is a kind of pure meditation, and it is the highest form of concentration leading directly to moksha, that is liberation. And the purpose is complete detachment from passions and karmic influences, and realization of the soul's pure nature. So this is what Shukla Dhyan. And there are several types of Shukla Dhyan. So the first is called Prithakta Vitarka Savichar meditation. So it is concentration on subtle distinctions of the substances. So whatever realities we are focusing on, we must know the subtle distinctions between those realities. There is Ekatva Vitarka Savichar, so focus on unity of the soul. So here we see that we are wandering in this universe, but we are in the cycle of birth and death. But the past, present, and future, in all the forms of life, we are continuing in some form or other. So this kind of unity of the soul can be realized, and also our soul is not different from the souls of other living beings, whether they are microbes or whether they are animals or birds or human beings or hellish or heavenly beings, even the liberated souls. So the soul of all the living beings is of same nature. So that kind of equality, the sense of equality or unity of soul, can be the subject of this particular meditation. Sukshma Kriya Pratipati, so meditation on extremely subtle activities of the soul. So in this particular meditation, we try to stop all the mental, physical, and vocal activities except the breathing. So the respiration goes on, but all other activities are getting stopped when we go into deep meditation in this particular state. Or the fourth is Vyuparat Kriya Nivritti. It means that absolute cessation of all activities leads to omniscience and liberation. So in this stage, we even stop our breathing. And this stage is, you can say, the last stage which leads us to omniscience and final liberation. So these are the four stages of Shukla meditation, and it is especially done by the great yogis and all the Tirthankars. They are mostly engrossed in Dharma Dhyan and Shukla Dhyan. So what the differences between these two higher meditations or deeper meditations are that Dharma Dhyan is more of reflective nature. It is a preparatory. It is preparing us for Shukla meditation and ethical meditation. It also follows all the ethical rules and regulations with meditation. So it is also ethically a very emphatic and in its practice. Shukla meditation, it is pure and ultimate meditation leading to liberation. Dharma Dhyan purifies and prepares. Shukla Dhyan perfects and liberates. So these are the basic differences between these two meditation. Now we would see the wrong meditation, which nobody wants to do. but or practice, but it happens automatically when we are having some attachment to any belongings or any relatives or to our own body or any other things. So here we can see Artha Dhyan, it is known as painful meditation because whenever we meditate in such kind, we do such kind of meditation, it is because of our painful situation. So meditation focused on sorrow, loss, or pain, it arises from attachment and aversion. Okay, so whenever we are in the sorrowful state, or we have lost someone or some belonging or some loving things, or we have some great big loss in our business or any such kind of things, in that state we feel so much pain or tension. In that state, our mind gets focused on the lost things. So it arises because of our attachment and aversion, and the nature is inauspicious. It always binds karmas and hinders our spiritual progress. So we should avoid this kind of meditation, or we should not go into such kind of miserable or painful situation, or we should not focus on those things. And just we have to be careful for future. But whatever is lost, just we have to think in creative direction, or what can be the right solution for that, instead of thinking or being what is it, depressed or frustrated or hopeless and going into anxiety. So that kind of things should not be there, because they create such kind of meditative state in us. There are four types of Artha Dhyan. So the first is Anishta Samprayog Artha. It means dwelling on unpleasant experiences or misfortunes. So because of some past negative karmas, we may get such situations in which we get some unpleasant experiences, or we feel some kind of misfortunes, but we did not to think about it, just how we can come out of it. And we have to think that okay, it may be because of my past karmas, so I have to tolerate them, rather going into anxiety or fear or any kind of sorrow. Viprayog art. It means anxiety over losing loved ones or possessions. So if something is very loving to us, and if we have lost that thing, or some relatives which were our near and dear ones or very loving, and if we have lost them, then we go into anxiety. So that kind of a state should not be of our mind, and we should think about the truth that one who takes birth dies someday, or whatever we are having, it is not necessary that all those things would all permanently with us. They may sometimes maybe lost or destroyed for any reasons. So instead of going into anxiety, if we can think about the transitoriness of the worldly things or worldly relations, then we will not go into such kind of meditation. Nidan are worrying about future desires or ambitions. So yes, we should not be so much worried about the future, or we should not feel insecurity about the future. Just we have to make the right effort. We have to see the situation, understand how we can handle our own situations in a positive way. So if we think in that way, then it's okay. But if we are worried about the things and doing nothing, so that comes under Artha Dhyan. Viparyay Artha Dhyan. So regret our past mistakes or failures. So yes, whoever wants to do something, sometimes he may do such kind of mistakes, some mistakes, or he may also get failure in his effort. But we need not to think about what mistakes we have done. Just we have to learn that how I should not repeat this kind of mistake in future, and what was the lacuna on my part. Because of that, I was not successful in my effort. So just we have to think in that way instead of thinking that I am failed, I got failure in my effort, and my effort is not successful. Whenever I do some efforts, I don't get the proper result of all those things, efforts. So that kind of thinking about something negative about our own mistakes, or about own failure, we should think something more constructive, creative, productive, and progressive or positive, so that we can get some good solution or right solution to our problems, rather than thinking about something negative. So in this way, this Artha Dhyan is completely avoidable, though it is not practiced by anyone intentionally, but automatically it happens whenever we are in such critical situations. Rodra Dhyan, it is known as wrathful meditation. So meditation filled with anger, cruelty, or violence, strongly condemned in Jainism. So those people who are creating a terrorism or doing something wrong with other people, they are also concentrating on all those plannings. They do plans for killing other people ahead of ahead of time, and their mind is completely focused on those plannings. So these kind of thinking or planning, they all come under the Rudra Dhyana. So if somebody is engaged in anger or any cruel act or any violent act, they are strongly condemned in Jainism. Nobody should do such kind of meditation, or their mind should not concentrate on such kind of violent or cruel actions or plannings. So in auspicious, it is obvious, it is inauspicious, it is not good for himself and for other. It leads to heavy karmic baggages and suffering. There are 4 types of Rudra meditation. So Hinsanubhav Rudra meditation, Mayanubhav Rudra meditation, Vishanubhav Rudra meditation, and Parigrahanubhav Rudra meditation. So in the first, someone thinks about the enjoyment in violence or harming others. So his mind is completely focused on such kind of violent activities, and he feels enjoyment when he harms others. Mayanubandhi, so deceptive or manipulative thoughts. So whenever such kind of thinking comes to our mind, it is a kind of Mayanubhav Rudra meditation. So those people who are cheaters, deceptive by their nature or manipulative, they are also focusing on those things. Their mind is more, very concentrated on such kind of mischievous act. So that kind of concentration is considered as Rudra meditation. Nishanubhav, those who are indulged in falsehood and tell lie, they are also focusing on that, how they should speak something just opposite to reality. So before they are thinking, planning, and doing such kind of activities, so that other people can get misguided by them, by their words, by their actions. So such kind of activities also involve a deep concentration. Without deep concentration, nobody can make lie even. Parigrahanubandh Raudra meditation. So in this meditation, somebody is more, if very much greedy and having possessive tendency, he is also thinking about how he can get more and more money, how he can make money over the night, what can be the right and wrong means for achieving money, abundance of money, like this. So whatever, if somebody wants to capture the land of others, the resources of others, properties of others, or anything he wants to achieve, if it is because of his greediness or possessive tendency, then it is considered as a Rodra Dhyan. So Parigrahanubhav Rodra meditation. So these types of meditation are completely avoidable. Nobody should engage in them, and they should understand the reality of the worldly things and what is his um, right way to achieve anything or to deal with his conflicts. Now we see that Artha meditation is always happens. It happens when we are in painful situation or sorrowful condition, and it is a we are doing such sorrowful reflections on the losses of our near dear ones or loving objects or things or stuff, and it binds karmas through attachment and regret. Rudra meditation is wrathful, it is destructive reflection, and it also binds karmas through cruelty and greed. Both classified as inauspicious meditations or aprashasta dhyan, and practitioners must transcend these states, move toward dharma dhyan and ultimately shukla dhyan rather than going to these kind of dhyan. So, what are the methods which have been introduced in Jain Yoga and meditation systems to control the mind? So, contemporary Jain Yoga integrates scientific perspectives and mindfulness techniques, as we have already discussed under Praksha meditation system. That there is a first and foremost prerequisite for meditation is mindfulness. Until you become mindful about your own whole sensations or actions or emotions, you cannot come out of that. So it is first requirement that we have to be mindful about our own practices and whatever we are experiencing during our meditation. We have to be completely mindful, and at the same time, we should see that how these meditation can help us to come out of our mental, physical, emotional problems and issues. So this is also the one of the new dimension which has been added in this present time in contemporary Jain yoga. Acharya Sri Tulsi and especially his successor Acharya Sri Mahapragya have developed Praksha meditation in 20th century, and it is a very comprehensive and inclusive technique of meditation based on scientific studies and ancient wisdom. So they have tried to um, um, include all the Jain meditational practices and yogas which have been going on for centuries, and they were scattered in different takes. So they have studied all those things and practiced all those things and find out that what can be the right way to do this meditation according to the need of the time, and they have formulated this new technique of meditation, which is called Praksha meditation. And in this particular meditation, they have emphasized that pure perception is can help us to go into deeper meditation and also to realize all those higher and spiritual goals which we are committed to meditate. Focus on spiritual. So all the Jain meditations, Jain yoga and meditations, they are focusing on a spiritual purification along with health and stress reduction in modern time. So in this way, we have seen that throughout the Jain tradition, we find that the focus is on spiritual purification or is self-realization and final liberation. But yes, the physical and other concerns are not less important for a common man. So they have also part of contemporary Jain yoga and practice meditation. So Jain Yoga shares similarities with the Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, but differs in its karmic doctrine. Unlike Hindu Yoga union with Brahman, Jain Yoga emphasizes individual soul liberation, close parallels with Buddhist Vipassana meditation. So we can see and that how Jain Yoga is very close to Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, but yes, the doctrine of karma has not been discussed in Hindu yoga tradition in the sense in which the Jain yoga and meditation are focusing. So the karma doctrine is also unique of Jain tradition. It has not been dealt with in other traditions. So in that sense also, it is very closely connected to its own karma doctrine. And here the emphasis of Jain practice of meditation and yoga is to achieve liberation and self-realization. So these are the main goals have been pursued in all throughout the Jain yoga and meditational practices for centuries. Close parallels with Buddhist Vipassana meditation. So at present, we know the Vipassana meditation, which is a well-known meditation of Buddhist tradition, and Praksha meditation is very close to that because Vipassana also emphasizes on perception, and in Praksha meditation we also emphasizes on perception. Except that Buddhist meditation is not looking for it is a self in that or soul concept. It is mainly focused on the peace of mind and purity of mind. So its focus is on purity of mind rather than what we say a self realization or realization of eternal self. So in this way, we can see some basic differences between the Jain, Hindu, and Buddhist meditation, which is going on still today and even in the ancient times. Liberation, though, has been the main goal for all these traditions. But so far as the concept of soul is concerned, Buddhism differs in that reference from Jain and Hindu tradition. Now we would see a conclusion that Jain yoga and meditation has evolved from ancient ascetic practices to modern scientific methods. And it is the central aim of Jain yoga and meditation remains moksha through purification of karmas. So to be free from the karmic baggages and to attain final liberation has been the central goal of Jain yoga and meditation. Jain yoga offers a unique spiritual path, blending philosophy, ethics, and meditation. So we would see that there is always some philosophy behind the Jain meditational practices, and we have discussed all these philosophical base of all these different meditational techniques of Praksha meditation system. And we also see that ethics is also given very much importance in the with the practice of meditation. And yes, meditation is already in the central of all ethical practices of or spiritual practices of Jain tradition. So in this way, we have seen that meditation has been given very much importance in Jain Jain religion from very beginning, and almost all the Tirthankars almost is it is not the word which we have to use, but all Tirthankars mainly practice meditation. They are always engrossed in the dharma meditation and sukla meditation, and to remove their karmic baggages and to realize their own inner self to attain omniscience, and finally to attain liberation. So they are always engaged in meditation till they attain the omniscience or perfect knowledge. So in this way, meditation is deeply rooted in Jain spiritual practices. If somebody has any question, now they can ask him. Now these are some of the references which are available on internet, through which you can see, so you can go into detailed study of Jain Yoga. So Arihant Institute has offered one course, full course Jain Yoga studies. So anybody can join that course, Routledge Handbook of Yoga and Meditation Studies, so Jain tradition. So that book is also very important. So as that has also written one book, Jain and Other Systems of Yoga, and Jain World. You can see the rich heritage of Jain Yoga and yoga and meditation in the Jain tradition, yoga research. So these are the sites which are available. You can find out many articles from them, and you can go through for going into more detail about all these things. Thank you very much.
Vandamini Swami Swamiji, thank you. That was really good. I have one question regarding the Artha Dhyan and Rodra Dhyan. So I feel Artha Dhyan is something that happens inevitably, like these things happen in your life, and then that's what happens to how you start thinking. Rodra Dhyan, you purposefully are making the effort to think like that. Is that right or no?
Yes, that is right. Okay. So that can also be the good point for differentiating these two meditations.
So with Artha Dhyan, if it starts happening to you, and it happens to me a lot, if it starts happening to you, what is the best? I know you have to go to Dharma Dhyan and Shukla Dhyan, but to get there, what is the best Preksha meditation practice to do at that time?
Contemplation. Okay. We can come out of these Artha Dhyan and Rodra Dhyan by thinking or contemplating on the reality of life. That if there is life, there is birth, there is death. Okay. Things are not permanent. So why we are so much attached, and if something is lost, why we are thinking about it again and again, and why we are focusing on the loss only, rather thinking about the solution to our problem.
So immediately you have to start thinking like that. Once that happens to you, start thinking.
Yes.
Okay. It's more like regret of the past. I think sometimes when something didn't happen, then I would always think, oh, why didn't it happen? Why didn't it happen? Why didn't it happen? That kind of thing.
If we try to find out the reason, genuine reason, or the lacuna on our part, we can think about that. But if we are going into anxiety or depression or frustration or becoming hopeless and doing nothing, then it becomes a kind of Artha Dhyan for you.
Okay. And then you
understand the reason that why I have lost this one or I was careless. That's why my thing is lost. Is it? So I have to be careful.
Correct.
In future. So that is the right way to think about it. But if you are just thinking about the loss, and because of that you are so much what we say sad.
Caught up in it.
Sadness is not the right way thing, is it?
I mean, not so much sad, but you don't stop thinking about it. So you have to make your mind change and say it's okay that you lost it. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, it is not big deal. We have to think that see, sometimes the things are lost because of our carelessness, and sometimes there is natural calamities, so you cannot do anything. It is not under your control, is it?
It's not.
Yeah, so there are certain situations which are not under your control, and if it happens, then we have to think about the recovery or how we have to proceed now next. So that we have to think. Something is not in our hand. Everything is not in our hand, no?
Right. Correct.
Mandami Namansami Samji.
Yes.
I had a similar question. I think you answered it. I had a question about Viparya Arth Dhyan, which
Yes.
is based on regrets about failures and past mistakes. There's a very
Yes.
fine line. I mean, some of this is important, considered important for continuous improvement. Because we made a mistake, we're sorry about it, and then we don't want to do it again. But the fine line between Arth Dhyan and perhaps constructive thought is that if we get too attached, oh, I made this mistake, it hurt my ego, I got ashamed in front of a crowd, or if we go into that type of a thought, that becomes Arth Dhyan.
Becomes Arth.
Yes.
Very good.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and my other question or curiosity was the difference between the Buddhist and Jain meditation, Vipassana and Preksha meditation. So the Buddhists believe in the impermanence of the soul, of things, including the soul, right, Samiji?
Yes.
And then Preksha Dhyan is about, we Jains believe in the permanence or indestructive nature of the soul,
Yes.
and
Yes.
its purification.
Correct.
Right.
So see, in Jainism, we define liberation. Liberation means self-real. When you become free from the cycle of birth and death, you attain your purest and perfect state, and that is the permanent. So instead of talking in this language, the Buddha is talking liberation means you are extinguishing, like the lamp, the light of the lamp extinguishes when the oil is finished. Is it clear? So sometimes this language misguides people. That if we are extinguishing, then why we are pursuing such kind of meditation or such kind of a spiritual goal in which our existence is nowhere. Okay, they give the example of the lamp, that when the oil is finished, then where the light goes, it goes in up or down or north or south or east or west. What is the answer of it? And people will say that it goes nowhere. So similarly, the soul goes nowhere. Then what happens? It extinguishes. So that meaning is not very much clear to the people, that what kind of liberation they are looking for. Though the Theravada tradition, which is the most ancient orthodox tradition of Buddhism, and that is very pure, and we can say very close to Jain concept, but still their concept is more emphatic on the impermanence of everything, including the soul. Okay, so they say that no, the soul is also changing at every moment. It is not the same. And the second moment is quite new. It is not what we say, it has nothing to do with the past. So past flow. So in this way, their language is misguiding actually. I don't believe that Buddha was talking in that way, but his language has misguided to some extent, and that's why he could not compete with the Hindus and Jains in India in that reference. So if a soul is not permanent, then what kind of liberation we are looking for? Is it? And thus, mind, according to Jain yogis, that mind is has no what we say has no role actually doing something right or wrong. It is our own intention, our own consciousness, which is guiding mind, body, and vocal cord. Okay, the system.
Mhm.
So everything is coming from within. So you have to focus on your karmic body, your inner intention, inner consciousness. Think about the purity of your consciousness, which is guiding the mind. They are more focused on mind. That whatever we are doing right or wrong, it is because of our mind. Our mind is fickle. Our mind is going into negativities, and that's why it is creating troubles. Mind is not creating troubles. It is an instrument. How you are using the instrument. You might have a knife in the hand. You can do murder of someone, and you can also make a very beautiful image of the god by using the knife. Is it?
Mm.
So it is mind is like that. So according to all Jain tradition, it is your inner consciousness which must be purified. Okay, so the main emphasis is on self purification rather than purification of mind or peace of mind.
Mhm.
Do Buddhist people believe in a soul or they don't believe in the soul?
They say that everything is transitory, means changing at every moment. So
Right.
they don't talk about soul, eternal soul, anything about eternal soul. Either the Buddha is keeping silence on
Yeah.
such questions. He is not
Yeah.
answering to metaphysical
That's what I think it is, right.
And
So they don't mention there's such a
I
thing.
think that because Buddha he did not talk about all these things because he was understanding that these are the philosophical truths which are beyond the understanding of common people.
Of common people.
So he kept a silence.
Mm.
Okay. And because of that, the whole tradition has understood that there is no eternal self.
There is no soul.
It was interpretation of his teachings because he did attain mokshas. So he did purify his soul, but his teachings got misinterpreted.
He is misinterpreted by the commentators. So he himself was talking about his past lives. So
Mhm.
if you are talking about your past lives, it means you are continuing from past to present, present to future.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So you are eternal in that sense.
Mhm.
But he says now how the trees are coming out of their seeds. Okay, one tree comes out of seed, it gives rise to another seed, and it vanishes, and another new tree comes out of that seed. In this way, there is the flow of everything, but nothing to do with the past tree. That is vanished, that is finished. Okay, and the new one is new one, but it is coming in the flow. The past tree is transferring its all qualities into the next tree or next seed, and through that the new tree is coming out. So in this way there are certain things which are not very much metaphysically befitting or accurate to understand his concept, but I don't believe that Buddha has said such things intentionally. But looking at the people of his time, might be he thought to use such kind of language to understand. So it has created so much, what we say, problem in his metaphysical concepts.
I mean, in terms of the Dravya, Guna, and Parya, he's just talking about the Guna and the Parya, not the Dravya.
Yes. Yeah. So actually, when I taught all the times in my FIU courses that he did not want to talk anything about the pure eternal self. Actually, when he's saying that everything is transitory, then he's talking about this physical existence. Okay, and it is transitory. It is not permanent.
Mhm.
The pure soul, he is not talking about it. He is keeping silence about all these metaphysical truths, which are permanent. But somehow the theory of anatta is very much into what is a discussion in Buddhist philosophy. And it is saying that there is no eternal self, there is no eternal self. Everything is in flow. We are new water is coming all the times in the one in the same river, and because there is so much continuity with the flow, the next flow is coming just after the first flow, and there is no time gap in between. That's why we are misunderstanding that the river is the same. It is going on from the time, from that period. So it is not that the river is changing at every moment with the flow of new water. So it is his way, but according to Jainism, Buddhism is true in the relative sense and not in absolute sense. Okay, if river is not the same, then how the same river we are perceiving it the same place or in the same city? Okay, by the same name, if it is not the same. Yeah, the flow can come and go away. It doesn't mean that the main river is changing completely. So the flow is a kind of modes. So modes cannot be permanent. They come into play for the time being and go away. So Jains have a non-absolutistic standpoint, and that's why they could explain the truth in its totality. And no other philosophical systems have that kind of attitude to look at the reality. So they are more absolutistic in their approach. This absolutistic view is creating problem to them.
I have a quick question. When you talk about Shukla Dhyana, you mentioned that in the first one of the four, that
Yes.
perhaps your connectivity with past, present, future is something, one of the meditations, I believe, is, I don't know how you expressed that now, but you mentioned that.
Yes. See, it just, I told that unity means the eternality of the soul. That is my meaning, unity. And unity, it means all souls are equal or having of same nature. So we become very compassionate due to that we don't see that the other person is different from me. So universal friendliness, universal compassion, all emerge due to this feeling that all souls are of same nature. They are not different from me. Okay, so unity of soul, you can understand in that way also.
But
Is
in a
it
way,
clear?
yeah, in a way it expands what Naina's saying, that because you soul, so past, present, future, brother, sister, mother, father connections are immaterial because with everybody, right? So in a sense, that attachment to a loss or grief makes no sense because we've been attached to everybody in some sense, and we're all equal at some sense.
Okay, that can also be understood under the contemplation of friendliness, that we should not have any kind of feeling of amity towards any living being. Those who are looking enemy in this life, they might be my own relatives in the past life. So for that, we think in this language when we are practicing contemplation of friendliness. Right. Is it?
That's where it belongs.
But right now, you can see that the all souls are having of same nature. Okay, so they are not different from me. So I cannot mistreat anybody. Is it clear?
Wonderful, Swamiji. Yes, very, very helpful. Thank you.
Anybody? No. So who will give meditation today? Is someone ready? I forgot to ask yesterday, so. Who is ready? Ethel, Pari. Okay, so Rakeshi, you can continue.
Okay.
Meditation, what meditation you have given yesterday, the same you can give today. So be ready, Shivani, Pari, and Sheetal Kate is attending sometimes. But yes, he can also give some session. Narendra ji all can. So from tomorrow next week, everybody has to give a session one day. Okay, Rakesh ji, you can start.
Okay. We will start with a quick stretch. Just stretch with our
It
hand.
would be better in a standing position if you can give a stretch to your body. Yeah, because you were seated for such a long time.
Okay. Now take a comfortable posture, sitting posture, whichever is most comfortable to sit for the next 15 minutes. Could be Padmasana, Ardha Padmasana, Sukhasana, or Vajrasana. Close your eyes softly and place your hands either in Gyan Mudra or Vitarag Mudra. Make the aphorism of meditation. Sampikhaye appaga mappayenam, which means see yourself through yourself. And then we will resolve, make a resolution, say it together. I am practicing Preksha meditation for the purification of my psyche. We'll repeat this 2 more times. I am practicing Preksha meditation for the purification of my psyche. I am practicing Preksha meditation for the purification of my psyche. There are 4 stages of Preksha meditation. The first stage is Kayotsarga, which means relaxation with full awareness. We will try to relax each and every part of our body. We'll start with the right big toe on the right foot. Focus your attention on the big toe of the right foot. Visualize the internal parts, the vibrations, and suggest it to relax. Similarly, we will focus on the other toes of the right foot and suggest them to relax. We'll slowly move our attention to the sole of the foot, the heel, the ankles, lower calf muscles, upper calf muscles, the knee, thigh muscles, and the hip joint, and suggest each and every part to relax. Feel that the whole right leg is now fully relaxed. And we'll repeat the same sequence with the left leg, starting with the big toe. Suggest it to relax. Suggest the other toes to relax. The sole of the foot, the heel, ankles, lower calf muscles, upper calf muscles, the knee, thigh muscles, and the hip joint. Suggest each part to relax. Feel that both legs are now fully relaxed. Now we will bring our attention to the lower abdominal area. Visualize the internal organs, the large intestine, the small intestine, kidneys, liver, spleen, and other organs, and suggest them to relax. Now bring your attention to the upper abdominal area, chest, visualizing our lungs and heart, and suggest each of them to relax. And bring your attention to the back muscles and the shoulders. And suggest them to relax. Now each of the arms, the fingers of the right arm, right hand, the palm area, wrist, lower arm, elbow, upper arm, suggest each to relax. Similarly, on the left arm, starting with the fingers, palm area, the wrist, lower arm muscles, elbow, upper arm muscles, suggest each to relax. Feel that the middle part of your body is now fully relaxed. Now we'll bring our attention to the neck area, the throat, the seat of our vocal cords. Suggest our vocal cords and the neck muscles to relax. And now focusing on the facial muscles, all the fine muscles, cheeks, the forehead, ears, inside our mouth, the jaw, and the tongue. Suggest each to relax. And finally, the head muscles. Feel that they are free of every tension. And now we will move to the second stage of meditation, which is Antaryatra. We focus on our spine. The bottom of the spine is the home of Shakti Kendra. knowledge, center of knowledge. Let's focus our attention on the center of knowledge. Sorry, center of strength. Shakti Kendra. And visit our whole spine, moving upwards from Shakti Kendra to the top of our head, which is Gyan Kendra, or center of knowledge. And now we will link our breathing, our breath, moving out. As we inhale, we will bring our attention to the Shakti Kendra, bottom of the spine. And as we slowly exhale, we will move our mind slowly up along the spine towards the Gyan Kendra, top of the head. Again, inhale, bring your attention to the bottom of the spine. And while exhaling, let's move our mind from Shakti Kendra to Gyan Kendra. Traveling along the spine. We will repeat this silently for 6 full breaths. Now we'll practice the third stage of Preksha meditation, which is the perception of breathing. With the perception of breathing, we will focus our attention on our breath at the navel area, on our navel. As we breathe in, experience that our abdomen is expanding. And as we breathe out, feel that our stomach is contracting. The navel is almost touching the backbone. We'll practice this for 1 minute. Just keep your attention on the navel. Do not let your mind wander. And now we will come to the 4th stage of Preksha meditation, which is visualizing the bright white colors on our Jyoti Kendra, which is the center of our forehead. Imagine a full moon or any other bright white object, like a snow-covered mountain, residing the center of our forehead. It's emanating bright white colors. Feel that the whole forehead is now surrounded by white light. The light is spreading all around us. Keep your attention on the Jyoti Kendra, Let your mind penetrate inside. Follow the light. Spreading to the frontal part of our head, the frontal lobe, which is the seat of all passions, anger, ego, deceit, and greed. Feel that our passions are getting subsided. We are becoming light. We will experience this state for 30 seconds. Now we will conclude our meditation with the recitation of Om 2 times. Om. Om. Take 2 long breaths. Let's rub our hands to generate some warmth and place them over your eyes. Blink your eyes a few times and gently remove your hands and open your eyes. Vandami Naman Sami Samaji.
Okay. So thank you for this meditation session. And tomorrow is Saturday, so it is review class. Is someone is available for yoga? Nainabel?
Vandamina Swami Swamiji.
Yes, Ramaji.
Ramesh Bhai is going to be doing the yoga
Okay.
from 9:30 to 10:30.
Okay.
Session will start at 9 o'clock with any questions and answers or from the week.
Yes.
And then at 9:30, Ramesh Bhai is going to be coming and doing some yoga session.
Okay. Yes.
And the quiz is based on the PowerPoints this time, so you get the answers in the PowerPoint presentations. The video links will come up later.
This time I'm giving just a question, 10 questions, so that everybody can be comfortable with that. Okay, so be ready for from next week to give the meditation session, those who have not yet given. So Shivani, you have to be ready for giving 4-step meditation on Monday. Then Sheetal, Narendraji, and
I'm actually gonna be on vacation next week, so I'm gonna watch the lectures asynchronously. So
okay. So okay, Sheetal, you have to be ready
Yeah, Vandami,
on Monday.
on Monday.
Yes.
Okay.
So now we have to leave.
Yeah.
Vandami Namaskar,
Vandami
Swamiji.
Namaskar.
Thank you.
Nami Namaskar.
Thank you for lovely
Yes, everybody.
meditation, Rakesh
Thank
Bhai.
you,
It was
Swamiji.
very
Great
good.
session, Rakesh. Oh my gosh. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Vandami Namaskar, Swamiji.
So now my topics are covered, and now new lectures will start. So
Yes, Samiji.
Well done, Rakesh Bhai.
Thank you, Narendra Bhai.
Yeah, it's really good. Really good. You nailed it.
Thank you, Devendra.
And you yourself, I would say you yourself are meditating, I sense that helps, you're
Mhm.
it's not just teaching and you're actually in it. That I think I can hear that. Very good. This is awesome. Just that makes this whole thing worthwhile.
Right, exactly. Learning by watching others.
No, there's a lot more to do. So I think we're going to be very multifaceted by the time we finish.
Yeah.
I think so. I'm very excited with the medical part. We'll see how it pans out. We have a lot of speakers, so it'll be interesting.
Mhm.
And I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure it'll be very,
Yeah,
very good.
everything is intertwined really well. So it increases the understanding thoroughly.
Yeah, now we have the basis from Swami. Of course, we
Yeah.
churn it. I think it helps us. And I think today's lecture was amazing. Explaining that. Yeah, and then
Mhm.
it was.
I feel Samnich's last couple of lectures, with the closure of all her parts of the Pariksha,
Right.
really hones you in on purpose of doing Pariksha meditation that we can
Mhm.
impart on our students
That's right.
because that comes within you, right? When you're feeling it and you're thinking it, and then you
Yeah.
can impart it to them.
Yeah.
That the real benefits of it.
Mhm.
I really liked it, the last couple of lectures.
Right. Yeah. And it will
Bring-
help us answer questions too, because I'm sure students will have similar questions. as
Yes,
asking.
exactly. And we don't want to part, so much always, it depends what kind of students we have, right? If they're different denominations and everything,
Yeah.
we don't always have to impart our religious
course.
background,
Yeah.
but we can still say
Customize,
where
yeah.
Pariksha meditation comes from
Mhm.
and what its goal is. I
Mhm.
think there's nothing wrong in saying that and
Yeah.
in an
Yeah,
achievement.
we're proud of it. We just not trying to convert, but to be proud of it.
Correct.
That's
So,
right. That's
yeah.
right. We cannot overemphasize Jain religion. But
Right.
try to explain what are the differences, and this is our. I think this Pariksha meditation, focusing on Pariksha meditation, is a Jain technique,
Correct.
and just leave it at that.
And leave it at that. Yeah. No, it's good. Perfect. All right. Well, good night, everyone.
Yeah, thank you.
Good morning.
Good
And you-
night.
Good job,
See you
Rakesh
everybody.
ji.
Thank
Very
you,
nice.
Sheetal.
Yeah, very nice.
Thank you.
Keith Satama,
I'm
Oh
sorry.
yeah,
Yeah.
Tamil ko satawan hai.
you look a little tired, that's why.
All
Young
good,
days
all
were
good.
walking.
Meditative. A lot of working too hard.